PeopleSoft Cloud Manager is an orchestration tool to provision and manage PeopleSoft environments on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. This video discusses using Orchestration Manager to create and manage policies. Administrators can automate frequently used activities such as starting and stopping environments, scaling up or down, and applying maintenance. Check out the Spotlight Series page on the PeopleSoft Information Portal for other videos in the series. This PeopleSoft Spotlight Series for Cloud Manager is based on Image 18. We began by summarizing the types of policies you can create and demonstrate how to create a policy. We demonstrate a policy that includes multiple actions and another with a custom action. Then we'll describe how to create a policy group and some of the ways to associate a policy or policy group with environments and environment templates. We'll also describe how to use policies for auto-scaling and finish with a list of additional resources. To create a policy, choose a policy object and policy type. These choices control the events, conditions, actions, and action parameters you can select. The policy object can be either repository artifact or environment. Policies for managing provisioned environments can be scheduled for a specific date and time or triggered by one of several events. Events for environment policies are add node, backup, clone, delete, infrastructure, CPU, PeopleTools patch, PeopleTools upgrade, provisioning, remove node, restore, scale up, scale down, start, and stop. When the policy type is event, the event will be triggered when the policy conditions are met. You can define one or more environments for the policy to act on by name, by status, such as running or stop, or by a tag. The policy actions for provisioned environments are backup, custom action, health check, refresh ADB wallet, scale down, scale up, send email notification, start and stop. Repository artifact policies are based on artifacts such as downloaded HCM update images and PeopleTools patches in the repository. The only policy type is event. The available events are InfraDPK download, patch download, and PUMDPK download. You can define the type of repository artifact for the policy to manage by product, such as HCM or PeopleTools, release, and platform, such as Linux or Windows. The available actions are apply CPU patches, apply PRPs, backup, custom action, define and upload target, delete old PUM source, health check, migrate PUM metadata, provision PUM, send email notification, start and stop. It is possible to set a schedule at the action level in some cases. To create a policy, click the Orchestration Manager tile on the Cloud Manager homepage to go to the Policy Editor page. Cloud Manager delivers several useful policies which you can edit and save for your situation or review and use as guidelines for your own policies. Use the self-managed HCM update image policy as a guideline to create a policy to keep your PeopleSoft 861-based update images always current and synchronized with your target environments. Change the image to suit your needs. The policy requires the actions provision PUM and migrate PUM data, but you can add other actions such as define and upload target and delete old PUM source. You may also want to include a custom action such as setting up a load balancer. This policy was described in previous highlights videos for images 16, 17, and 18. We can also review the Apply CPU policy. Because this is based on a repository artifact, it will be triggered when an infrastructure CPU is downloaded. The schedule policy type is not available for repository artifact. In this case, the conditions mean that the policy will be triggered when a PeopleTools 861 Linux infrastructure CPU is downloaded. Select the environment to run the policy by clicking the Parameter button for the Apply CPU Patches action. Then you can use the Schedule option that is associated with the Apply CPU action to specify when to run the event. You can select a specific date and time or set up a recurrence. You can select one of the process scheduler recurrence definitions or add a new recurrence definition. Review the listed definitions on the Process Scheduler Recurrence Definition page. From here, click the link Add a new Process Scheduler Recurrence Definition, and then click Find an existing value. For example, the Cloud Manager repository update will be updated weekly on Wednesday at midnight. The Recurrence and Ad Hoc tabs are also available on the Schedule dialog box when you schedule a policy rather than an action. You might set up an Apply CPU policy like this, for example, if you do not want to disrupt environments if the artifact download should take effect during normal business hours. So you set up a schedule to apply the CPUs during the weekend. Now we will create a schedule policy to back up an environment. Click Add Policy and add a name and description. Select Environment as the policy object and Schedule as the policy type. On the Schedule dialog box, we select Ad Hoc and select a convenient time. Select a tag as the condition to associate the environment with the policy. When the policy is associated with the tag value test, it will be applied to all the test environments. Select Backup as the action. This action has an optional parameter to add a prefix to the name of the backed up environment. The available parameters vary according to the policy action you choose. After saving, the policy automatically becomes active. Go to the Policy Manager page to see the progress. The status is complete for both environments. In case of an error, you could click the link to go to the Logs page for the environment. Select Backup and Restore from the Environment Action menu to verify that the backup environment is available with the prefix we specified. Next, we create a policy that includes more than one action. You can create policies that perform multiple sequential actions. Policy conditions are re-evaluated before triggering each policy action. After supplying the policy name, description, and security role, we again select Environment as the policy object and set an ad hoc schedule. Select the name of the environment. We will add 4 policy actions. First, to back up the environment and send an email notification indicating that the action was completed. To take advantage of the Send Email Notification action, you must enable the Notifications option on the Cloud Manager Infrastructure Settings page. You also need to set up a notification topic and email subscriptions in the OCI console. You can enter a notification topic ID when you define the policy action. If you leave this field blank, as we do in this case, Cloud Manager uses the notification topic ID from the Infrastructure Settings page. The next actions perform a health check and send another email notification. Email notification following a health check describes the health check results. The health check action checks if all domains are up, checks that the PIA domain is accessible, and checks the load balancer status. The health check action must be followed by the Send Email Notification action so that the user receives the health check status by email. Let's check the policy status on the Policy Manager page. Clicking Details shows that all 4 actions completed successfully. We can also review detailed output from the health check. The first email notification states that the backup action is complete, while the second one gives the results of the health check. Select Backup and Restore from the Environment Action menu to see the environment backup. The Orchestration Manager segment in the Image 18 Highlights video includes other examples. In addition to using the predefined policy actions such as Add Node and Backup, you can use custom actions when defining policies for both environments and repository artifacts. Define the behavior of the custom action on the Policy Action Parameters page. First choose a source, either PeopleCode Handler, repository file, or inline commands. To use the PeopleCode Handler custom action, you would need to define a PeopleCode application class based upon the application class that Cloud Manager delivers. You provide input for the policy action in JSON format. In this example of an email notification application, the PeopleCode application includes the text in the input JSON field in the email triggered by the policy. The Image 17 Highlights video segment, Enabling Custom Actions within Policy Manager, described the use of PeopleCode Handler. In Image 17, the action was labeled Invoke Handler. Use the repository file drop-down list to select a script that you previously uploaded to the repository. You can use Python, Shell, Batch, or PowerShell scripts. The next demonstration shows a custom action with a shell script. When defining a policy with a custom action with a repository file or inline commands, the custom action must follow a lifecycle event. To use inline commands, enter one or more comma-separated commands. For example, enter commands to install yum packages on a Linux node or to enable or disable services after provisioning an environment. For Linux nodes, the commands will be interpreted as shell commands. For Windows nodes, the commands will be interpreted as batch commands. You cannot use inline commands for delete events. After selecting a source, set the context needed to run the custom action. Use the operating system drop-down list to direct the custom action to nodes on Linux or Windows. Specify a node type to limit the action. The node type list includes DB system, database tier, full tier, middle tier, PeopleSoft client, and search stack. The input JSON field can be used with PeopleCode Handler as mentioned with a script or with inline commands. If used with the repository file parameter, Cloud Manager sets environment variables that will be available in the custom script that is being run. This demonstration uploads a script to the repository and uses it for a policy with a custom action. This demonstration uses a different Cloud Manager environment. Go to the repository and select Upload Custom Scripts. Click the plus sign to upload a script. In this case, we upload from our local computer. You can also upload files from OCI Object Storage or a public Git repository. Go to the Policy Editor page and add a new policy. The policy object is Environment. Because we are defining a policy for a custom action, the policy type must be a lifecycle event. The custom action will be triggered after we complete the event. We select Add Node and select an HCM environment. Select Custom Action and click Parameters. Choose print_path_dbname.sh from the drop-down list. This is a simple Linux script that prints the values of the path and psft_db_name environment variables to a file in the /home/opc directory. The script appends the date and time to the file name. The PSFT_DB_name environment variable is one that Cloud Manager allows for use in custom scripts. We choose Linux as the operating system and middle tier as the node type. The instance equals single environment variable directs the script to act on a single node. The mid-tier type all environment variable directs it to act on all domains in the middle tier node. After saving the policy, go to the Actions menu for the environment and select Manage Node. Add a middle tier node on Linux. When the node has been added, the policy carries out the custom action. On the Policy Monitor page, we see that the custom action was successful. The Environment Details page also includes a section with custom execution logs. We sign into the HCM environment in a Git Bash shell as the OPC user and use the More command to see that the log file produced by the custom action includes the path and database name as expected. Orchestration Manager allows you to group policies for display and to facilitate associating related policies. On the Policy Groups page, enter the name and description for a policy group and click Save. We look at ways to associate policies and policy groups with Cloud Manager entities next. There are several ways that you can associate a policy or policy group with an environment or template. As we saw in the previous topics, you can select the environment when defining the policy. To associate a policy or policy group with a provisioned environment, go to the Environment Details page and select Policies. When you add a policy to an environment on this page, the environment name will be appended to the environment name's condition property or action parameter for the policy. When you add a policy group, the environment will be associated with all the policies in that group. Use the Manage Tags page to add tags to an environment. You can then select the tag when defining an environment-based policy. After adding a tag to multiple environments, select the tag when defining a policy to associate the tagged group to the specific policy. When creating a template, select a policy or policy group. Adding a policy group to an environment template adds all of the policies in that group. The environments created from the template will have these policies auto-enabled. Policy groups with policies that are associated with an environment or template will be displayed in a section on the Policy Editor page under Default Policies. Autoscaling integrates with Oracle Data Science Services to take advantage of machine learning techniques. To get set up for autoscaling, your OCI account needs a subscription to Oracle Data Science. Set up Data Science in OCI. The tutorial Create Data Science Resources for Autoscaling in PeopleSoft Cloud Manager shows you how to install a Resource Manager template that will create data science resources. Go to Cloud Manager Settings and select Data Science Settings. Supply the required values for your data science installation. Select the compartment, VCN, and subnet you used when you installed Data Science. The other required parameters are Data Source Bucket, VM Shapes, Load Balancer Bandwidth, and Data Retention Period. On the Cloud Manager Settings page, select the option to enable monitoring services. The environment that is managed by autoscaling must meet these requirements. First, there must be a search stack node. Then, you must enable monitoring on the environment. You can enable monitoring on the template used to create the environment, or access the monitoring page from the environment details after the environment is provisioned. If you turn on monitoring after the environment is created, it starts collecting performance data and indexes that information in the search instance. Train the system with a minimum load of typical business transactions for at least 3 or 4 weeks to collect enough samples for prediction. After the data science model is trained, define the auto-scaling policy. As a guideline, we can review the delivered scale-up policy. The policy object is environment. You can schedule a one-time occurrence or set up a recurring schedule. Selecting a tag as the policy condition means that the policy will apply to any environments with that tag. The second condition is that the environment is running. The policy action is scale-up. On the Policy Action Parameters page, select Auto Scale. This ensures that the system will automatically scale up. This means that when the system detects that usage is high, referred to as a positive anomaly, it will add a node. Set the nodes to scale to auto, which lets the system determine the number of nodes to add. We set the scale limit to 4. Set Yes to scale the application server, process scheduler, and PIA domains. After the system is trained and policies for scale up and scale down are active, the system monitors in real time to detect anomalies, evaluate the load level, and predict the required scaling. When a positive anomaly is detected, the system will evoke the scale-up policy, which indicates the maximum number of nodes to add. When the load decreases and a negative anomaly is detected, the scale-down policy is evoked, which indicates the minimum number of nodes to retain. To see examples of auto-scaling results, watch the auto-scaling enhancement in the Image 14 Highlights video and Recommended Scaling in Image 15 Highlights video. Here are some useful resources. You can download the companion slides with images and notes from this video from the Oracle Learning Library. See the PeopleSoft Cloud Manager homepage on My Oracle Support for additional information. You can find the highlights videos referenced in the Spotlight on the PeopleSoft Cloud Manager page on the PeopleSoft Information Portal. Use the link at the top of the page to see all PeopleSoft Cloud Manager videos. You can also find the version of this Spotlight developed for Cloud Manager Image 11 in the Cloud Manager section of the Spotlight Series page, which is also on the PeopleSoft Information Portal. The video includes several demonstrations that were not included here. See the PeopleSoft blog for timely updates. Go to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure documentation for information about OCI Compute.